Number 0 is George Riddle from Canton, Ohio, in the Riddle Construction, sponsored number 0. Outside of row number 2, the living legend, number 7. That is Richie Rohr in the Esber Beverage, sponsored number 7. Also Black Diamond Earthworks on the number 7 of Rohr. The number 88, Tony Urdiles from Akron, Ohio, in the Kavanaugh 44 Sharp Forever Tan Ride. The number 17, point leader Bob Snyder Jr. in the Landstar Recruiting Agent, sponsored number 17. And your fastest qualifier, new track record holder, the 18, is Brandon Short. I don't think it's going to be. Chief Starter Terry Coletti looking confused on the flag stand. He throws the caution flag. So getting ready to come back for another opportunity at a start here. Enos and Jay Berg, and we're green off of turn number 4. 8-lap heat race number 1 for the McIntosh Oil Company late models in the Codeman. Takes the race lead off of turn number 2. Jay Berg out front. Rich Rohr going to move up to the second spot. A little bit of contact between Enos and Riddle. Is your point leader Bob Snyder Jr. going to rocket around the outside to take over the third position through turns 1 and 2. So Enos going to drop back to the 4th spot. Well, actually, he's hanging on pretty good. Is Rohr going to be all over the back of the youngster Cody Jayberg. Just shy of the halfway mark. Cody Jayberg, your race leader. Rich Rohr runs second. Bob Snyder Jr., the point leader, runs third. Mark Enos hanging on to the 4th spot. Tony Urdiles trying to get around the outside of that 07 of Enos. The 0 of George Riddle still out there competing, as well as the 18 of Brandon Short, pulled pit side. Rohr all over the back of the 22 of Jayberg. Tony Urdiles is going to take over that 4th spot. Coming to the white flag, Cody Jayberg continues to hold off Rich Rohr for the race lead. White flag for Jayberg. Off turn number 4, heat race number 1, to the Codeman, Cody Jayberg. Rich Rohr finishes second. Bob Snyder Jr. third. Tony Urdiles fourth. The 07 of Mark Enos in fifth. Then the 0 of George Riddle and the 18 of Brandon Short. Pulling to the line from New Philadelphia, Ohio, on the Route 39 Auto Salvage. T&L Mowing, Rick Watson Trucking, sponsored number 22. Put your hands together for the Codeman, Cody Jayberg. Number 69 of Bob the Animal Eichel from Stone Creek, Ohio, in the AW Tipco Oil and Gas Roofner Racing, sponsored number 69. Alongside the number 25 is Chris Grubbs from Canton, Ohio, in the G&H Construction sponsored ride. Row number 2, the 66, longtime veteran John Sanquest Sr. from Austintown, Ohio, in the Duffy's Auto Body, sponsored number 66. And finally, the 69R is Corey Herron from New Philadelphia, Ohio, 4-car. And also the number 5 of Rick Capel from Belpre, Ohio, in the Capel Automotive, sponsored number 5. So 6-lap heat race number 2. Getting ready to come to green. Bob the Animal Eichel, Chris Grubbs on the front row. Sanquest and Herron in row 2. Capel out back. Green flag in the air off of turn number 4. the racetrack goes Chris Grubbs in the 25. He does hang on to that race lead. Bob the Animal Eichel in second. John Sangquest and Heron battle for that third spot. Capel's going to spin in turn number 2. And caution on the speedway. Benefiting the veterans that have fought for this country, the Fisher House, the VA Fisher House up in Cleveland. Let's get up here and buy some 50-50 tickets. As we go back to green flag racing, 1 lap complete and 5 to go. Grubbs going to take the race lead off of turn number 2, and the 66 of Sangquest is going to follow. Chris Grubbs, John Sangquest, Bob the Animal Eichel, Corey Heron. So white flag for Chris Grubbs, hanging on to the 66 of Sangquest. Sangquest thought about a move going into turn number 3, not going to make it happen. And your winner, Chris Grubbs in the 25. Sangquest finishes second, then Bob the Animal Eichel and Corey Heron. Pulling to the line in the G&H Construction sponsored number 25 from Canton, Ohio. Put your hands together for Chris Grubbs. Winner 1 week ago, his first career modified feature win is Nick Grubbs in the 24 from Canton, Ohio, in the Valley View Logging sponsored number 24. Alongside the youngster, the number 66 is Lewis McGrath from Strasburg, Ohio. Lewis McGrath, only about his 4th or 5th start on the season. The 00 is Todd Ripley. Todd Ripley in the 00 in the LTR Industries D&B Machine Mustang Trucking sponsored number 00. The big dog Lucas Ripley, your point leader, is alongside in the 0. Row number 3, the 54 of Big Mac Doug McMillan, and the 38 of Kevin McClintock. McClintock, your fastest qualifier. So again, Nick Grubbs, feature winner 1 week ago. His first career feature win starts on the pole. The youngster Lewis McGrath alongside. The Ripley family occupies row number 2. Dad on the inside, the big dog, the point leader on the outside. And then the Big Mac Doug McMillan will start inside of row number 3 with the fastest qualifier, Kevin McClintock in the 38. Of course, Van Meter's Auto Repair, Stewart's Flooring, Broad Run Cheese House, Penzo's Pizza, Federated Auto Parts. Sponsors on the 38 of McClintock. Getting ready to go green flag racing, 8-lap heat race number 1, and we're green. Grubbs going to have the race lead off at turn number 2. Ripley and McGrath side by side into turn number 3. Nick Grubbs, your race leader. Todd Ripley going to move into the 2nd spot. Lewis McGrath back to 3rd. Here comes the 54 of Doug McMillan. Tried to stick his nose underneath the 66 of McGrath. McGrath shut the door, got to the bottom. He'll maintain that 3rd spot. That leaves Lucas Ripley on the outside of McMillan for 4th. McClintock looks to the inside of Ripley, trying to pick up a couple points. Todd Ripley tried to make the outside move on Nick Grubbs, got up the racetrack quite a bit in that double zero. Nick Grubbs continues to lead. Ripley trying to make that outside lane work. Lewis McGrath doing a nice job in the third spot. McMillan fourth. Lap and a half to go. Here comes Todd Ripley once again to the outside of Nick Grubbs. Grubbs and Ripley. Grubbs will lead at the white flag. Todd Ripley trying to make that outside lane work, slipping up just a little bit, getting way up high off of turn number 2. Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, your winner going to be Nick Grubbs. Todd Ripley going to finish in the second spot. Then the 66 of Lewis McGrath, the 54 of Big Mac Doug McMillan, the 38 is Kevin McClintock, and the 0 of Lucas Ripley. Pulling to the line, he picked up the feature win 1 week ago. He'll take the heat race right after his brother did earlier. In the Valley View Logging, sponsored number 24, put your hands together for Canton's Nick Grubbs. So heat race number 2 for the Van Meter Auto Repair Modified. Starting on the pole in the Esber Beverage Miller High Life, number 11 is Trey Williams from Dover, Ohio. Starting alongside the 09 is Philip Cox in the Ohio Billings Swan Racing Fabrications ride. Row number 2, the 331 is Mike Stone from Canton, Ohio. And in his second night out in the modified, veteran Bill Obule in the 31. Row number 3, the 67 is Bob Page. 02 is Rick Sibla. And Outback. And Flying Ryan Tedesco in the number 27 in the Swaney ride tonight. Tedesco in the 27. 8-lap heat race, green flag in the air. Williams up the racetrack. That opened up the bottom for Mike Stone. Williams slammed the door, and now he's going to slam into the 09 of Philip Cox. And now Stone, he closes the door on the 331 of Stone. Trey Williams way up the racetrack. Problems for that number 11. Mike Stone going to take the race lead. Philip Cox runs in the second spot. Williams back to third. Then Bob Page in the 67. Ryan Tedesco in the 27. Then Bill Obule in the 31 and the 02 of Rick Sibla. Mike Stone, your race leader in the 331. Philip Cox runs second, Bob Page third, and Trey Williams just got into the 27 of Ryan Tedesco. Trey Williams all over the place in that number 11 as he goes to the pits. White flag for Mike Stone. Bob Page has caught the 09 of Philip Cox. Page going to look at the inside of Cox. Nope, thought better of it. Nose to tail through 3 and 4 for the final time. Your winner going to be Mike Stone in the 331. Philip Cox finishes second. The 67 of Bob Page will be third. Then the 31 of Bill Obule. The 27 of Ryan Tedesco. Actually the 02 of Rick Sibla. Then the 27 of Ryan Tedesco, and the 11 of Williams, fighting some handling issues in that number 11. So pulling to the line in the Criley Fabricating, Esber Beverage, Black Diamond Earthworks, Kumar Trucking, Bank of Magnolia, and Wallace & Associates, sponsored number 331 from Carrollton, Ohio. Put your hands together for Mike Stone. So moving into heat race number 3 of the Van Meters Auto Repair Modifieds, the 87 is Zach Leisure. He'll start on the pole. The number 4 is Jerry DeVore from Midvale, Ohio. Row number 2, the 99 is Derek Gruhl. The 29 is Dan Gosser. Outback, the 75, Bobby DeVore the second, and the 69 is Larry Ennis. Getting ready to go green, Leisure and DeVore. Zach Leisure going to lead lap number 1. Halfway home, 4 in, 4 to go. Jerry DeVore, your race leader. Zach Leisure, problems for the 87. Is Derek Gruhl going to take over the second spot? Leisure looked like he was underpowered, and now he's pushing like a dump truck in turn 4. Going to give up the third spot to the 29 of Dan Gosser. So developing a big push, the 87 of Leisure. Your race leader, Jerry DeVore, starting to check out. 2 laps to go for the number 4. White flag in the air for Jerry DeVore in the number 4. Off turn number 4, your winner going to be Jerry DeVore in the 4. The 99 of Derek Gruhl finishes second, then the 29 of Dan Gosser. The 87 of Zach Leisure, the 75 of Bobby DeVore the second, and the 69 of Larry Ennis. Again, stop up and get some 50-50 tickets. We got to get that number up there. It's going to the veterans. It's going to the Fisher House in Cleveland, the VA Fisher House. So it's going to be for the veterans of this country who fought for us. So make sure you stop up and get some 50-50 tickets. Pulling to the line, heat race number 3 winner for Midvale, Ohio in the BT Tire and Brake, Robinson Garage Doors, DeVore's Auto Repair. Sponsored number 4. Put your hands together for Jerry DeVore. Starting on the pole, point leader Lucas Ripley in the 67. The John Tannerelli ride is your point leader from Yorksville, Ohio in the Heron Heating and Cooling sponsored 67. On the outside, the number 75 is Bob Passwater Sr. The number 12 making his return to Midvale Speedway after a couple weeks of traveling around. The number 12 is Jeff Kuykendall. The number 88 is Dennis Wood. And your fastest qualifier, the number 7, is Gabe Pringle. Getting ready to go green, Lucas Ripley and Passwaters. Green flag in the air. Oh, problems for Passwaters, and the 88 of Wood gets into the wall. Nowhere to go for Dennis Wood off of turn number 2. Tough break for Bob Passwater Sr. Got loose off of turn number 2. Dennis Wood got into the back of the 75 of Passwater's and then made some slight contact with the outside retaining wall, rounding out your field. Getting ready to go green, Ripley and Kuykendall, and we're green off of turn number 4. Ripley, Kuykendall, Wood. Dennis Wood, Jeff Kuykendall side by side for second. Lucas Ripley, your race leader. Lucas Ripley continues to lead. Dennis Wood going to take over that second spot from Kuykendall. Kuykendall trying to hang on to third in front of Gabe Pringle. Pringle going to try and dive it in underneath. Kuykendall doesn't close the door. Pringle is there. Kuykendall will now get to the bottom. Is Wood going to go up the racetrack? Kuykendall going to take a run to the inside into turn number 3. Thought better of it. Lucas Ripley, still your race leader. White flag for the 67. Point leader, Lucas Ripley, into turn number 3. Dennis Wood, Kuykendall, Pringle. And that's the way they'll finish. Checkered flag in the air for Lucas Ripley. In the Heron Heating and Cooling, sponsored number 67 from Uricksville, Ohio. Put your hands together for your point leader, Lucas Ripley. Going street stocks starting on the pole. The number 28 is Frank Boyce from Barberton, Ohio. And the Nephews Painting, sponsored number 28. Alongside the number 22 is Kylie Wood, back in the number 22 tonight from Barberton, Ohio. Starting inside of row number 2, making his return to racing after a quick 6-month retirement or so, Rich Schweitzer in the number 7 S machine, driving the second Gabe Pringle ride. He's even got his gold rims on. Rich Schweitzer in the 7S, starting inside of row number 2. Feature winner last week, the number 18, 118 is Colt Locker. Camaro hair on the outside of row number 2. And the number 74 is Bob Passwaters Jr. So we did settle on, I don't know if you guys watched the Facebook Live or not this week, but we did settle on a nickname for Colt Locker. We were debating between Mullet Man, the Mullet Militia, Mullet Boy. We settled on Camaro hair. So getting ready to go back to green, Boyce and Kylie Wood. Kylie going to have the race lead into turn number 1. Boyce still going to be there on the bottom. Wood going to have the race lead off of turn number 2. She has the bottom if she wants it. She takes it, closes the door on Boyce. Race leader Kylie Wood sideways off of 4. She's going to lead lap number 1. Oh, Boyce loose in turn number 2. That gives up the bottom lane to Rich Schweitzer, and Schweitzer takes it. Rich Schweitzer up into the second spot. Schweitzer now sideways off of 4. Rich Schweitzer. Kylie Wood out front. Rich Schweitzer in second. Frank Boyce in third. About to get a speeding ticket, the 22 of Kylie Wood way out in front, but she ran 2 laps above her qualifying time. Kylie Wood, black flag, your new race leader, Rich Schweitzer in the 7. Off turn number 4, heat race number 2 to the old man, Rich Schweitzer. Frank Boyce finishes 2nd. The 74 of Passwaters finishes 3rd. Then the 118 of Colt Locker and the 22 of Kylie Wood. How about the old man in the 7S picking up the heat race win coming out of retirement? In the Keys Cars, WTUZ, Big Z Sports, Gino's Garage, Boulevard Cleaner and Tuxedo Shop, Ridgeway's Auto Repair, Garrett & Sons Construction, sponsored number 7S. Put your hands together for Mr. Smooth, Rich Schweitzer. Listen, Towing Compacts. Starting on the pole, the number 41 is Britt Van Meter, subbing tonight for Toby Cook. So Britt Van Meter in the 41. Alongside the 44 is Mike Stuber. The number 19 is Eugene Kopp with a great run in the feature last week, finishing in the top 5. The number 15 is Kyle Finlayson. He was your runner-up. Josh Peebles, Jeffrey Orr. Your feature winner, the 23 of Carl Phillips. The number 38 is Brandon France. And the 75, your fastest qualifier, Kevin Renneker. And Van Meter and Stuber get together off of turn number 2. Everybody stays going in the right direction. The beneficiary, the 15 of Kyle Finlayson. Kyle Finlayson going to lead lap number 1. Jeffrey Orr runs 2nd. Mike Stuber 3rd. Then the 38 of France. Tough break for Britt Van Meter. Flat right front tire on the 41. Finlayson continues to lead. Stuber now back up to 2nd as he gets around Jeffrey Orr. Stuber going to take over 2nd on the inside lane. Brandon France trying to get to the inside of the 8 of Jeffrey Orr for the 3rd spot. Brandon France was the fastest qualifier till the 75 of Renneker took it over in last chance qualifying. Brandon France Kyle Finlayson, your race leader. Mike Stuber 2nd. Brandon France in 3rd. Jeffrey Orr runs 4th. Good battle for 5th between Josh Peebles and Eugene Kopp. Then your fastest qualifier, the 75 of Renneker, and last week's feature winner, Carl Phillips, as the white flag comes out for Kyle Finlayson. Checkered flag for Kyle Finlayson. Mike Stuber will finish 2nd. Then the 38 of Brandon France, the 8 of Jeffrey Orr. Then the 78 of Josh Peebles. The 23 of Carl Phillips. The 75 of your fastest qualifier, Kevin Renneker. Then Eugene Kopp and Britt Van Meter. From Bolivar, Ohio, in the Finlayson Towing, Finlayson Trucking, Shutterbug Photography by Dana, sponsored number 15. Put your hands together for Kyle Finlayson. Connor McLean in the 443. The number 15 is Derek Robinson. The 53 is Curtis Finlayson. The 69 is Dan Bucky. The 0 is Alan Clark. The 44 is Andrea Brokaw and her husband, the 79 of Eric Brokaw. Green flag in the air, final prelim event of the night, and Connor McLean going to take the race lead into turn number 1. Again, at intermission, we will have our Kids Gold Rush pass the helmet. We'll be passing the helmet for Kids Gold Rush coming up in a couple weeks. And also, we will get ready for our Frisbee race at intermission. Connor McLean, your race leader. Gavin Root problems as he battles with the 53 of Curtis Finlayson. Connor McLean way out in front. Gavin Roop and Curtis Finlayson battle for that second spot. Black flag for Curtis Finlayson. So tough break for the 53 of Curtis Finlayson. Crew members asked him to be black flag. Halfway home, Connor McLean. Connor McLean about to get a speeding ticket. He's 2 laps under his qualifying time. He gets the black flag. Connor McLean, your race leader, is now the 9 of Gavin Roop. Gavin Roop leading over the 0 of Alan Clark. The 15 of Derek Robinson. Robinson moving up from the karting ranks up to the 3rd spot. And the 69 of Dan Bucky. White flag for Gavin Roop. Gavin Roop into turn number 3. Final time, here comes Alan Clark. Thought better of that move, and he's going to finish second. Your winner, Gavin Roop in the 9. Alan Clark finishes second. The youngster, Derek Robinson, finishes 3rd. The 69 of Dan Bucky. And here comes the battle of the household, and Eric Brokaw going to get the win over his wife, Andrea, in the 44. The 443 of Connor McLean, again, black flag for running 2 laps under his qualifying time. And the 53 of Curtis Finlayson was black flagged because the crew members pit side said he had something rubbing, and they asked officials to black flag him. So pulling to the line in the R&B Tires Fast Plas Metal Arts sponsored number 9. Put your hands together for Barnhill's Gavin Roop. Bob Snyder Jr. is the point leader, looking for his 2nd career late model championship. So your lineup, the number 25 is Chris Grubbs. He will start on the pole. Chris Grubbs will start on the pole from Canton, Ohio. Alongside the 07 is Mark Enos. Mark Enos and Chris Grubbs on the front row. Row number 2, the 22 is Cody Jayberg. The 0 is George Riddle. Row number 3, veteran row number 3. The number 7 is Rich Rohr. The 88 is Tony Urdiles. The number 17, your point leader, Bob Snyder Jr. Your new track record holder, the 18 of Brandon Short. The 66 is John Sanquest. The 69 is Bob the Animal Eichel. The 69R is Corey Herron. And the 47 is Dave McAllister. Field gets the 1 to go signal. Chris Grubbs, Mark Enos, On the front row, Cody Jayberg, George Riddle, row 2. Rich Rohr, Tony Urdiles in row 3. Bob Snyder Jr., your point leader and fastest qualifier, the 18 of Brandon Short in row 4. McIntosh Oil Company late model 30-lap feature getting ready to come to green. Green flag is in the air. Chris Grubbs on the bottom will have the race lead by a couple inches off of turn number 2 into turn number 3. Grubbs still leading. Enos still there in the outside lane. Grubbs going to lead lap number 1. Here comes Cody Jayberg in the 22. Caution on the speedway. Dave McAllister spins in turn number 2. Mark Enos, Rich Rohr, row 2. Bob Snyder Jr., George Riddle in row 3. Field gets the 1-to-go signal. Field on the back straightaway. 2 laps complete. 28 to go. McIntosh Oil Company late models getting ready to come back to Chief Starter Terry Coletti's green flag. And we're green. Cody Jayberg will have the race lead into turn number 1. Elects to stay in the high lane. Good move as he will have the race lead. Here comes Rich Rohr in the 7th. He'll take over the 2nd spot. Rohr up to 2nd. Jayberg leads. Rich Rohr all over the back of Cody Jayberg. Jayberg leads. Rich Rohr all over the back of the 22 of Jayberg. George Riddle runs in the 3rd spot. Here comes Brandon Short in the 18. Short will move around the outside of Tony Urdiles up to the 4th spot. 7 laps on the board. Brandon Short now to the outside of Riddle for 3rd. Brandon Short almost spins in turn 2. Brandon Short almost went around. He gives up the 4th spot to Urdiles. And caution on the speedway. Rich Rohr gets into the back of the 22 of Cody Jayberg in turn number 1. Fourth, Bob Snyder Jr. 5th, Chris Grubbs 6th, Mark Enos 7th, John Sanquest Sr. in 8th, then Rich Rohr, Bob Eichel, and Corey Herron. Getting ready to come back to green off of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. Jayberg and Riddle side by side through 3 and 4. Jayberg continues to lead. Tony Urdile is going to move up to the second spot. Here comes Brandon Short for third. Caution on the speedway for the 07 of Mark Enos, who spins in turns 3 and 4. Mark Enos sideways in 3 and 4. So getting ready to come back to green, Jayberg and your dials. 13 laps complete. Green flag is in the air. Tony Urdiles with the advantage through turns 1 and 2. Off of turn 2, here comes Cody Jayberg battling back. Good side-by-side racing up front, Urdiles and Jayberg. Halfway home, Brandon Short, all over the back of the 22 of Jayberg. Here comes Brandon Short in the 18. Around the outside, 17 laps on the board. New race leader, Brandon Short. Brandon Short, your race leader, starting to pull away from Cody Jayberg and Bob Snyder Jr. Rich Rohr to the inside of George Riddle for the 5th spot. Rohr going to move up to 5th. Bob the Animal Eichel pulls pit side. Brandon Short continues to lead, 8 laps to go. Cody Jayberg, Bob Snyder Jr., Tony Urdiles, Rich Rohr. Your top 5. Problems for Urdiles. Tony Urdiles, problems in turn number 4. Tony Urdiles running in the 4th spot has issues. He pulls pit side. Tough break for Urdiles. To go for Brandon Short. Cody Jayberg hanging on to that 2nd spot. Bob Snyder Jr. 3rd. Rich Rohr 4th. And George Riddle rounding out the top 5. White flag for Brandon Short. checkered flag for Brandon Short. All right, who has Brandon Short's Frisbee? Whoever has Brandon Short's Frisbee, come to the flag stand. Good feature in the Macintosh Oil Company late models. For the 6th time in 2019, putting in an ACT Tuning victory lane. In the Hutter Race Engines, Ernest Performance Direct Detail, sponsored number 18. Helmet coming undone, Hans device coming off, belts undone. For the 6th time in 2019, your winner, the youngster, Brandon Short. We got our Frisbee race winner in victory lane. Come on down here. Congratulations, man. I thought you might have gave it away up there in turn 2 when this thing got loose on you and your dials got back around you. But luckily, you got the caution, was able to make up the ground. Tell me how you did it.
Well, shout out to your dials for not running me over there. That was definitely a driver mistake. Just drove it in too hard and almost lost it. We could have paid the price for that, but luckily we didn't. So, yeah, no, the car's been hooked up. You know, we went to Owasso last week. We were pretty good. Just didn't get the finish we wanted. And it's nice to come back to my home track here at Midvale Speedway and, you know, bring out a win for you guys, put on a nice show for you guys. So thank you guys for coming out.
And we got the Frisbee race winner in here. She's got your little picture there, huh? So you get to celebrate. And you won me a case of pop, so I appreciate it.
Perfect.
And Terry's shaking his head over there.
Hey, you bet on the wrong man.
All right, brother. Who you want to thank on this 18 tonight?
Well, first I want to thank all my family, my dad, everyone who makes this operation roll. Definitely a great car. Got a lot of cool names on there. Direct Detail, Ernest Performance, Amsdale Companies, Bicknell Racing Products, Hutter Engines. Just there's a lot that makes this thing roll, and it's awesome.
Congratulations, man. Welcome back to Victory Lane.
Thank you.
Your winner, Brandon Short. Brandon Short getting his picture taken with the Frisbee race winner. Going to get an interview here from Redline Radio. Then we'll get some more pictures in. In the 66 of Lewis McGrath. Inside row number 4, the 55 is the Rooster Brandon Bailey, along with the 00 of Todd Ripley. Inside of row number 5, the 0, the big dog, Lucas Ripley, your point leader in the Van Meters Auto Repair Modified Division in the 0, along with the 54 of Big Mac Doug McMillan. Your fastest qualifier, the 38, is Kevin McClintock. He'll start alongside feature winner from 1 week ago, the 24 of Nick Grubbs. The number 11 is Trey Williams. The 29 is Dan Gosser. The 99 is Derek Gruhl. The number 4 is Jerry DeVore. The 87 is Zach Leisure. The 27 is Flying Ryan Tedesco. And the 75 is Bobby DeVore II, along with the 69 of Larry Ennis. '20 Van Meter Auto Repair Modifieds, getting ready to go 25 laps of green flag racing here at Midvale Speedway in week number 12. Philip Cox, Mike Stone will start on the front row. Philip Cox looking for his second feature win of the season. Mike Stone looking for his first career modified feature win. The 31 of Bill Abil, only his second night out in that number 31, longtime veteran of the street stock division, moving up into the modifieds, looking for his first career feature win in the modifieds. He'll start third. Bob Page, another guy looking for his first career modified feature win at Midvale Speedway. So front two rows only have one former winner here at Midvale Speedway in the modified division. The 02 of Rick Sibla looking for his third feature win on the year. And another youngster, Lewis McGrath, in the 66. So 4 of the top 6 looking for their first career feature wins. Then all the veterans behind: the Rooster Brandon Bailey, the 00 of Todd Ripley, your point leader Lucas Ripley, 54 of Big Mac Doug McMillan, Kevin McClintock, your fastest qualifier. Field on the back straightaway. 25-lap Van Meter Auto Repair modified feature, 20 cars, beautiful field of modifieds here at Midvale Speedway, getting ready to go green. Chief starter Terry Coletti, green flag in hand. Field in turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. Mike Stone and Philip Cox side by side off of turn number 2. Cox up the racetrack, gets deep into turn number 3. Through turn number 4, Cox will lead lap number 1. Stone and Cox still side by side for the race lead. Cox continues to lead. Bob Page right there in that third spot, looking to go 3 wide down the back straightaway. Cox continues to lead. Stone right there in the outside lane. Page looking for a place to go. Mike Stone continues to try and make that outside lane work. Philip Cox is clear now. 4 laps complete. Page is there. Here comes Bob Page up to second. Page now clear of Mike Stone for the second spot. Philip Cox, your race leader. Bob Page in second, Mike Stone third. Good battle for fourth between the 55 of the Rooster, Brandon Bailey, and the 02 of Rick Sibla. Rooster's going to move up to the fourth spot. Philip Cox, still your race leader. Him and Bob Page starting to move away from the field just a little bit as they're going to encounter lap traffic. Larry Ennis in the 69. Caution on the speedway. Derek Gruhl spins in turn number 2. Bob Page looking for his first career modified feature win at Midvale Speedway. Philip Cox looking to hang on for another one. They're getting ready to come back to green. Green flag in the air. Cox and Page side by side into turn number 3. Front 4 rows, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Page up the racetrack. Mike Stone almost goes around in turn number 4. That's going to open up the bottom for Rick Sibla. Sibla looking to take over the third spot from Mike Stone. Caution on the speedway for Derek Gruhl. Sibla 4th. The Rooster, Brandon Bailey in 5th. Todd Ripley 6th. Getting ready to come back to green, just past the halfway mark. Van Meter Auto Repair Modifieds, Cox and Page. Green flag is back in the air. Philip Cox, your race leader. Into turn number 3. Bob Page still trying to make that outside lane work. Mike Stone in 3rd. Bob Page showing a little bit of smoke out of the back of that 67 machine as Philip Cox continues to lead. Page in 2nd, Stone in 3rd. Battle for 4th between the 0 of Lucas Ripley and the 55 of Brandon Bailey. Five laps to go for Philip Cox. Lucas Ripley to the inside of Mike Stone for 3rd. Stone sideways off of turn number 4. Brandon Bailey to the inside of Stone. He'll take over fourth. White flag for Philip Cox. Problems for Doug McMillan. Caution on the speedway. Doug McMillan stopped in turn number 4. Checkered finish. Philip Cox, the 67 of Bob Page, getting ready to come to green. Green flag is in the air. Ripley looked like he wanted to make it 3 wide into turn number 3. Cox continuing to hang on. White flag in the air. Final time into turn number 3. Here comes Philip Cox, your race winner. Lucas Ripley going to finish second. Bob Page third. Brandon Bailey, Kevin McClintock round out your top 5. Another good Van Meters Auto Repair modified feature. This field is so tight. Once again, the pole winner hangs on to pick up a feature victory. Philip Cox. In the Swan Racing Fabrications Ohio billing, sponsored number 09 for the second time in 2019. Won mid-season championship a couple of weeks back. In NAC Tuning Victory Lane once again, Philip Cox. Here he is, your winner, Philip Cox. Where's our Frisbee race winner? Who's got the 09 Frisbee? Come on down here if you got it. Man, I'll tell you what, congratulations, second win of the year. Well, you had to work for that one a little bit.
I was nervous, that's for sure, especially on the restarts.
I'll tell you what, you and Bob Page put on a good show up front. Good, clean, hard racing. Tell me about some of those restarts. You knew you had to be on your game.
Yeah, I was just afraid I was going to push up. I mean, I was pushing a little bit, but I was just hoping it would held down.
And then you had all the veterans behind you. You had that caution allowed Rooster to get up there, allowed the big dog to get up there. Was you thinking, man, I'm glad it's a green, white, checkered?
Yeah, because I felt him. Every time we went in a turn, I felt him.
Congratulations, man. Another win. Who you want to thank on this 09 tonight?
Ohio Billing, Swan Racing, Double J Restorations, and my wife, my father-in-law, my 2 brother-in-laws, and all the fans that come out tonight.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
Your winner, Philip Cox. LC.com. So this will go down as a first, our Frisbee race winner, not in victory lane. Don't know why the winner of the 09 didn't come down, but that's all right. Philip don't mind. Taking home the money tonight is Philip Cox. The Big Mac 50. Starting back in row number 8. From Grove City, Ohio, in the Humphreys Race Engines, Ed Yoke sponsored number 4. Put your hands together for Steve Hersey. Row number 7 on the outside. From New London, Ohio, in the Loose Cannon Motorsports, sponsored number 46. Put your hands together for Greg Schramm. On the inside, from Galena, Ohio, in the Ed and Company, number 20. Put your hands together for Brian Brewer. On the outside, from Sullivan, Ohio, in the Dark Horse Racing, sponsored number 68. Put your hands together for Sean Bubsby. On the inside, from Sheffield Lake, Ohio, in the Dark Horse Racing, Lakeside Home Renovations, Jay's Express, Ohio, hydrant tapping, sponsored number 42. Put your hands together for Billy Lundberg. On the outside of row number 5, in the 00, in the Brooks Jar Racing sponsored ride, put your hands together for Mike Brooks. From LaGrange, Ohio, in the Dunsing Motorsports, sponsored number 50. Put your hands together for Chad Dunsing. On the outside of row number 4, your fastest qualifier. In the 137 race cars, Young and McCarthy, sponsored machine from LaGrange, Ohio. Put your hands together for Spencer Steinman. On the inside of row number 4, in the number 0, in the Rocker Racing sponsored ride from Seville, Ohio, put your hands together for the Iceman, Tim Ice. On the outside of row number 3, in the Ed and Company sponsored machine from Barberton, Ohio, put your hands together for Mark Lucius. Inside of row number 3, from Grafton, Ohio, in the Yeager Brigade Racing, Flector Motorsports, BMT Firearms, Signature Enterprise Landscaping, sponsored number 04. Put your hands together for Bailey Del Fosse. On the outside of row number 2, in the number 21, from East Palestine, Ohio, in the EPO Realty, Pirate Marine, sponsored number 21. Put your hands together for Brandon Huff. Starting 3rd, from Strongsville, Ohio, in the Crazy Train Racing, Taylor Painting, Coyote Racing, Wallace DeWitt, sponsored number 32. Put your hands together for Brian Taylor. Starting on the outside of the front row, in the Johnson Heating and Cooling, S&W Chassis, Wiggins Construction, Wiggins Chassis, sponsored number 23. From Wellington, Ohio, put your hands together for Bobby Schramm. And starting on the pole from Menor, Ohio, in the Shepherd Motorsports, number 73, put your hands together for Mike Shepherd. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for the CRS Super Trucks as they get ready to run the Big Mac 50. Ryan going to come over here and give the command to start engines. Fans, you guys ready to help out my man Ryan? Getting ready to celebrate the life of Max Straley for the Big Mac 50. On the count of 3, everybody, help Ryan out. 1, 2, 3.
Gentlemen, start your engines!